Oh, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, these flowers are only a token of the great flowers of creativity you have given this country. Not only this country, but two countries. And so, Elizabeth, what I want you to talk about is this first journey. I've heard it from you so many times. How your mother and you dreamt India, and then you came to the real India. Would you like to say a few words about that?
Well, my throat is not very good for the last 1 week. I don't know how I will crack this. The real thing was that my mother just finished a series of spiritual paintings on Easter week in 1928, and on Monday a wonderful figure appeared in her studio and told her that what you could achieve here, you have already achieved it. But what you are looking for, you can only find in India. And therefore you must go to India. And she didn't tell this to anyone, but like a fire, it has been burning her, that how to do that. In the meantime, her exhibition was spring exhibition, and her Christ picture was exhibited, and it created a sensation. When she was ill, so she sent me for the opening. I was 15, and when I reached, I was a little bit late, and I saw in the hall people on one side. I thought maybe some accident, somebody has fallen or fainted. So I also went there. And just as I reached there, one lady turning to out from the crowd, and she said, I lost my God, but now I have found him. So it affected me also. So days were going, and the last summer we spent, as usual, in Balaton in a different way. This time not with family or friends, but all alone in a little tent in the peninsula called Tihan. And so daily, by then, she would paint the sunrise, which she could see at the other end of Balaton. And the most wonderful, and during the day, she would just like if it was some order, she would go and paint the little huts of that ancient huts of that village, like something from the past, meticulously, and also the Balaton. Now, autumn came with heavy rains, and the opening of schools were happening, so it was time for me to be back in Budapest. She said, no, she will not go. I had to go for the examination. I would want to become a sculptor. And for the first time in my life, I traveled alone and opened the home in Budapest and went to the examination and won. But she stayed in the tent, and there for 4 days, almost a week, there was nothing but pouring rain. And a tiny tent.
In Balaton.
Yes, and alone, and no communication from there. So, by the time we met, she looked a little different, but she said that she has found herself.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that was the beginning of a journey.
Yes.
An inner journey.
Yes. So, from now on, she was very seriously starting to prepare, to pack her paintings, do very serious things about my cousin, who was her sister's son. Everything was, and that finally on the 20, between Christmas and New Year in 1928, she just turned to me in the evening, I'm going to India. For the first time, yes, I am going with you. Nothing doing your education, your father. Then I was feeling that if I can't go with her, she may go forever. And untraceable. So I said, I am going with you. Nothing. If you don't let me go with you, then I will go into a convent and no father and no education, and nobody will see me again. So
you put her into a very difficult position.
Yes. So she thought for a few minutes, well, if it is so strong with you, and you will be able to face any situation, then you can come with me. She was invited after that painting, Christ painting, to Rome for 2 years as a artist with studio and see and paint what you like. So this invitation came. That means that was an official opening. And the family couldn't say anything. When it is that I am going, then naturally they were very disappointed. But when she painted throughout Italy, went earlier, then she should have gone. She should have joined there in October. But we walked out of our home on the 29th of May. It seems forever.
Beautiful, which was a great gift to India. Elizabeth, people will ask you about your artistic styles, and I'm sure you will talk to them about the different phases that your whole journey as an artist divided into the natural scapes, the mountainscapes, the Buddhist period, the even deeper mystical period. As I see this is the four broad periods. On that, I thought that the question that I would ask you as I look at your paintings, each time I have looked at those mountainscapes, this is one, because I don't want to interrupt you, and I'll ask my second question or query yours. And that is that the other, this your mother and you shared as much as she had this deepest experience which came out in Christ. But you, Elizabeth, you carried this mountainscape in your psyche. And yet, when it came to the emanations, if I may say, emanations of the Buddha, it was a very deep experience. And I know it is difficult to put it in words, but I want to hear you on it.
I mean, that came like home. You see, even now I have a cold shiver. So each of my Buddhist paintings in the shrines I have painted on my knees with my fingers. And thanks, perhaps the colors have given me a little poison, but anyway, and during the monks chanting. So I hope it was something I felt I had to do, because there are people, perhaps in some corner of the world, who would need it and can never go. So this is my donation of my life.
But what a deep experience you must have had.
Deep
experience you must have had.
Nothing less than the deepest. Yes.
And this brings up the question of that any art, but more so the visual arts, is a life that unless you've had the deepest experience, it cannot be transformed into through sheer skill and technique. Would you like to comment on that?
No. Technique one has to have, because without that, but then you see by that time it is no technique that you think. It is something that has to go on the canvas, however.
And the inner compulsion.
Yes, yes.
And I think that that's a beautiful gift
This is
that you have
really,
given.
yes, this is, in fact, it's very interesting. Sometime in my dreams, I also experience such things. And so it's within, it's not, I mean, the without is only communication.
Elizabeth, and the Himalayas, did the Himalayas open themselves to you?
I think they opened more to my mother.
Your mother.
She painted them, but I also adored them. I was swept by their beauty. But my mother, I think, could communicate with the Himalayas.
That's what I think also.
Yes, yes.
So let's get to your other, which is the more delightful, and you also play with life.
Yes.
And you play with life, looking at people. And you look at people and you look at nature, flowers, in the same way.
Yes.
Do you have a comment on that?